Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new Zurich model airport unboxing video. And today we have 3 new aircraft and all of them are very exciting, as you can see. One of them does not actually operate to Zurich, which is the Wizz Air A320. But there's a reason to why I got it, and I will go through that later on in the video when I unbox it. For now, we'll put the focus on these 2 aircraft. So without further ado, let's begin with unboxing the LOT Polish Airlines Boeing 737 MAX 8. So we begin with the box, which is not your casual Herpa box. This one is more special since LOT, I don't know, they probably made some agreement with Herpa, and Herpa has announced that they are really focusing on LOT model aircraft this year. So I suppose that's why they have this rather unique box design. So on the box itself, you pretty much have the LOT branding everywhere on every side. You have the LOT text or writing, and then the logo itself, Boeing 737 MAX 8, and the scale of 1 to 500. And at the front you have the aircraft itself, which has the Proud of Poland's Independence livery. And yeah, without further ado, let's begin with opening the aircraft and we'll go into the details. And right off the bat, we have a stand, which I'm a bit surprised that comes with the aircraft. But yes, Herpa has included it this time, and that's quite nice, honestly, because it is indeed a beautiful aircraft. So I'm quite happy that I have a stand with it, even though I really don't need the stands, since usually my aircraft usually just lay on the airport. So yeah, let's take it out. Like so, we'll put it on the runway there, and let's take a closer look. Now, as usual, we will begin with the front, where we have the cockpit windows and the wipers. We have the Star Alliance logo, which is right next to the windows, and under the Star Alliance logo we have the landing gear, which is your casual 737 gear, or landing gear I should say. You don't really have any extra details on there, you just have the landing gear, and it's Herpa doing Herpa stuff, I guess. And then we have the front door, which has the Polish, not only flag, but the map of Poland pretty much. And moving along, we have the passenger windows that have the colors of Poland going along the fuselage. And above the passenger windows we have a small little LOT Polish Airlines branding or writing. And in the middle of the aircraft, or the middle fuselage, we have the emergency exit windows. We have the engines as well that are going along nicely here with the wings. And the engines have some details, some little markings and so on, and it's quite nice to see Herpa add these small little additions. And yes, the writing of LOT is also on the engines. And the silver coloring around the engines look quite nice in my opinion. It's very, it looks very chromed and just clean. And then we have the wings themselves, which are also quite nice. We have the flap slats and spoilers on there, which has the emergency exit markings, which are quite nice. And moving along, we have the winglets, which have the logo of LOT. And of course we have them on the inside and the outside of the winglets. And then the rear fuselage, which has the colors of Poland moving along nicely. And on top there we have the SAT dome. And of course we have the text that says Proud of Poland's Independence. and the registration of the aircraft, which is SP LVD. And of course we have the rear door, which is nice. And right next to the door we have a text. Let me just zoom in on that, which says Boeing 737 MAX 8. Now my camera cannot really get that nicely, but it doesn't matter. We have the stabilizers and the tail wing pretty much, which has the lot logo. And last but not least, we have the APU, which is in a nice grayish color. And of course, looking under the aircraft, we have the LOT logo on the belly of the aircraft, the main landing gear, and the registration of the aircraft on the underside of the wing. And other than that, there's not really much else to it. I can mention that the engine fan blades are also nicely printed on there. My camera cannot really get that on here nicely now, but they are there. It's worth mentioning that. So that concludes everything for the LOT 737 MAX 8. And next up we have the Emirates A380-800. So once again, this is not your casual Herpa box. It's, as you can see, rather special. It has the license of Emirates, and the Emirates logo is on there, obviously. We have the aircraft itself on this side. Here we have the same thing except with the Herpa logo. And then the aircraft itself again. Now, looking at the back of the box, we have once again a rather unique design. We have some specifications and information about the aircraft, which is, in my opinion, kind of helpful, and it really gives you the feeling that this is a high quality model. So this time I'm gonna give Herpa a really good point here, because this is just a really nice box design and I like it. It would be good if they would stick to this design on more of their boxes, or just use this as their standard for their other boxes, but unfortunately that's not what Herpa does. Instead they do this with their boxes, which is not really, you know, it's kind of silly. Anyways, without further ado, let's start opening this aircraft. And here it is, right out the box. And this thing is very heavy, I can say that. I really don't know where to hold it because I don't want to drop it. I'm really afraid to do that. Anyways, let's go into the details. So beginning from the front, we have the cockpit windows and the window wipers. And under the cockpit windows we have a text saying Airbus A380-800, obviously. And then we have the front door. Obviously this is an A380, it will have a lot of doors and windows. And right underneath we have the front landing gear, which is nice. Then we have the Emirates logo, pretty much covering half of the aircraft's fuselage. And wings. For the wings we have the engines, which have the Emirates logo on them. And then we have the winglet here, which has the Emirates logo as well. And the engines are really nice. They have the silver color. It's not as shiny as the one on the 737 of LOT, but it's still very good looking. And the fan blades are also printed in there nicely. And another addition I can add is that the engines have some details and emergency, maybe not emergency markings, but safety markings. So that's also quite nice. And of course, flaps, slats and spoilers for the wings, which is quite nice. And we have these sat domes, the one in front and one in back. And then moving over to the rear end, we have the flag of the UAE. You can also call it the logo or tail logo of Emirates, because this is their livery. And one thing I can mention is that this is the new livery. The other one was a bit different. They didn't have these stripes going along with the aircraft. It's slightly different, but it's still relatively the same. And of course we have the registration of the aircraft, which is A6 EOQ, if I'm not mistaken. And looking underneath the aircraft, we have the front landing gear, the many main landing gear that this aircraft has, some details underneath the wings as well, and the stand hole, which the aircraft doesn't come with. Now my question is if all these Herpa stands are universal, but I feel like if I put this aircraft on the stand that the lot came with, I feel like it would just fall. I'll try, but let's hope it doesn't go wrong. And of course the registration of the aircraft, which is A6 EOG, so I corrected myself there. I said A6 EOQ, I think. But yes, there you have the proper registration. And other than that, there's obviously the luggage compartments, which every aircraft has. It's not that special. But that concludes everything for this aircraft. Now, I just put it on the stand. It's definitely holding up, but I would still maybe not recommend it to be on a stand because it's kind of wobbly. Yeah, you never know when it might lose balance and just fall. And the last aircraft is the Wizz Air A320. Now, before I start unboxing it, I will say that I am definitely gonna be making a new airport, and I have sort of planned out everything. I've already begun making the airport, and I can already state that the airport will be based in Croatia. So we'll have a little Mediterranean airport. It will be a rather smaller airport, but the reason to why I'm making another airport is because I simply don't just want a single airport. I want more, so things actually get a bit more interesting. Now, obviously, I will still make updates for Zurich. I'm never gonna quit the Zurich airport. It's always gonna be my main airport. But having a little side airport wouldn't really be a problem for me. And I have planned it to be like a seasonal airport. And by that I mean that I will mainly do updates during the summer, because that's when the actual airport in real life is active. Since during the winter it's not that warm, it's not really popular to go to Croatia then. It's usually during the summer everybody wants to go to Croatia because, you know, it's warm, Croatia has nice beaches and so on. Plus I've been to the airport a few times myself, and it's not really a big airport. It's an airport that only takes narrow body planes. Like the biggest plane that can really land there is your average 757 maybe, which is also very rare because the 757 is pretty much getting retired almost everywhere. But without further ado, let's just start unboxing the Wizz Air A320. So we have the box, which is your casual Herpa box again. Nothing special really, it's just a box full of unnecessary details in my opinion. Now, of course we have the Wizz logo, the registration of the aircraft, which is HALSA, and that pretty much concludes everything for the box. So without further ado, let's unbox this thing. And here it is, the Wizz Air A320. We begin with the front as usual, where we have the cockpit windows and the window wipers, which you really can't see that well right now, but they are indeed on there. And then we have the Wizz Air logo right next to the front door and the passenger windows. And of course, front landing gear, which is your casual A320 landing gear. Some details as well on the underside of the fuselage. And moving along, we have the pink color and the pink engines, which have the website of Wizz Air. And it even has some details right underneath the text there. We have the sat dome, which is in a white color. And we have the wings and the winglets, which are also in a pink color. And of course, the wings have the flap slats and spoilers. Emergency markings that go along nicely here with the emergency exits. And on the inside of the winglets, we have the Wizz Air website as well, which is really hard for my camera to pick up right now, but it's on there at least. And then once again, on the pink part of the livery, we have the Wizz Air website again. And then on the rear end of the aircraft, we have the dark blue color, which is also really nice. We have the registration of the aircraft and the Hungarian flag. And the registration is once again HA-LSA. And then we have the tail, which has pink and blue on it. Looks quite nice. And the vertical stabilizers with some more details. And we have the APU, which is in a nice color, rather darkish gray color. Looks nice. And of course, engine fan blades are in there, which is nice. And if we turn the aircraft around, you have the registration of the aircraft, HA-LSA, main landing gear and the stand hole, and then of course the Herpa branding. Now this aircraft seems to have a little misprint issue. As you can see, there's a little gray, not line, but a little gray rectangular shaped color there. So it's, as you can see, like placed like that. And then on this side, you have it like right in the middle of the underside of the engine. Here, it's not like that, but it's not really a big thing that bothers me, really. It's a small little thing, small flaw. I really won't be thinking of that too much. But that concludes everything for the Wizz Air A320. And here they are, the 3 aircraft we unboxed today. And I'm quite happy with this unboxing. Especially, I'm very happy mainly about the A380. It's my first A380 in the scale of 1 to 500. And just looking at it, it's such a relief knowing that I have an A380 now. And yeah, I think Emirates has pretty much almost completely stopped operating the 777 to Zurich. It's pretty much mainly the A380 nowadays. It was during the pandemic. They really operated the 777 a lot. Anyways, with all of that said, thank you guys for watching. There will be an update coming soon. Don't forget to subscribe, like, leave a comment, and thank you. Goodbye.